Really interesting fight at lightweight on our main card, UFC Brasilia between Renato Moicano and Damir Hadžović. Matt, this is a very interesting fight, more for one fighter than it is for the other, because Renato Moicano is coming off of two really, really difficult losses to Jose Aldo and the Korean Zombie, both finished losses where...
But like...
Listen, I mean, his first loss in the UFC was against Brian Ortega in a fight that he was winning. He gave his neck. He got finished by guillotine. And then he comes back like an absolute world beater. I mean, wins over Calvin Kattar and more. Really, I mean, he looked great.
The Cub Swanson fight was great, too. I mean, he dropped him with a jab, took his back, and choked him out in the first round, which is very impressive. And you can say what you want about Cub Swanson, but even if you beat him, you know the skills that he does bring to the cage. Yes, he's a little bit older now, but you have to worry about the power punching, the just crazy creativity. And for a guy like Renato Moicano, as young as he is, to be able to go in there and just run through him like a hot knife through butter, it was really something else.
And a fight against Damir Hadžović, this is a guy that if you watch him fight, very reminiscent of John McDessie, actually. A guy that'll throw a couple of spinning attacks, but a very good low kick and a lot of forward pressure. Very heavy Muay Thai type of stance where he leads with his head. And if Moicano's going to find success, it's that long range that he has. His nice jab, nice straight, really good, crisp boxing skills does Moicano have. And a guy that has been able to refine them over the course of time at American Top Team with a lot of really good training partners. Matt, how do you see this one going?
Well, also, just the weight cut you would have to imagine did take a lot out of Moicano. Like, there's a reason he moved up in weight in the first place. Not because he was coming off a couple losses. He's massive for that featherweight division to the point where you know it must drain him like crazy to make it. So I feel like lightweight is the better division for him moving forward. Damir Hadžovic's not an easy guy to fight, though, because A, no one knows who he is. And I mean that very respectfully. He's not really a mainstream fighter. Not a lot of people know who he is, but he is so dangerous, it's not even funny. And he's very hard to beat, because it's hard to wrestle him, it's hard to strike with him. He's just so well-rounded that way. But Renato Moicano, and you brought it up, really good at using his range, and he throws that low kick. You brought up about Hadžović. Moicano probably has a better low kick. You watch the Calvin Kattar fight, he basically beat the brakes off him just using the low kick, and then that opened up everything else. So if you're going to stand with Moicano, you got to keep your head off the center line, and you really need to move a lot. The problem is, that's what he does. He moves a lot, very volume-heavy guy. I don't think he'll win by TKO due to like one punch or one kick. Very much an accumulation kind of guy, sort of like Max Holloway. Damir Hadžović, like you said, you got to watch out for those spinning techniques, and that's something I do worry about in this fight, because Moicano defensively isn't that good. Very hittable guy, and I know it's easy to say you're hittable when you fight a guy like the Korean Zombie, but still, you should know that going into it.
And the thing that's going for Damir Hadžović, too, you talk about it, maybe not the most recognizable name, but he's a guy that's really won against some quality opponents in the UFC, and you want to talk a good training camp. You talk about guys, he's training right now in Birmingham with some of the best, the Edwards brothers, now Bellator's Ross Houston, I mean, Yannick Bahati, those are really good training partners, especially from 155 up to 170, and in the younger Edwards case, 185 pounds. But Matt, this is a really good fight. Who do you have here?
I think Moicano is going to win this. When you look at just kind of, not his highlights, but when you look at his highest moments at the featherweight division, he looks unstoppable in some points. I mean, Calvin Kattar's a phenomenal fighter, and he basically didn't lose a minute of that fight. Kattar landed a few good shots, but once Moicano kind of downloaded it, figured it out defensively, started landing the low kick, it really opened up a lot of his offense, and I see this fight going very similar to that one.
I mean, Moicano's sitting at just over a 3-1 favorite in this one of the bigger favorites on the card, but Matt, it should be a really interesting fight. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to pick Moicano. Going to side on the air of caution and go with a decision here, but really looking forward to it. Great fight at 155 pounds. Maybe Moicano hits a reset button, but you're not going to want to miss the rest of our predictions for UFC Brasilia. The main card, the prelims in 5 minutes for Lee versus Oliveira with Fight Night Picks. Matt, let's get into it.